It is absolutely no fun to show up in your business every single day, posting, creating content, making connections, and you're left wondering, okay, where the sales at? Where the leads at? Where my people at? So, hey, my name is Dee. I'm a business consultant for creative introverts, and I help my clients grow their businesses sustainably and strategically so that they feel good about showing up to sell and market in their business. Today, I'm going to be answering 5 questions that have come to me, whether it was from a DM, a current client, an intake form. Y'all know all the things. So, welcome into the room. Welcome to Sipping Coffee and Talking Strategy. Let me put my lip gloss on because y'all already know what time it is. Hold on. Hey, Miss Lady, welcome. Welcome. Y'all know in the spring and summer, your girl loves to be on the deck. And so that is where we are today. Okay, so y'all already know I don't like to waste a whole lot of time. If you are here, you are supposed to be here, so let's jump in. So the number one question I get is, I'm posting and showing up when I can, but it's not turning into clients. And the thing of it is, you got to be on Instagram to market in this day and age, right? It's like impossible not to be on social media, whether you have an online business or whether you have a brick and mortar. I actually have a client who has a brick and mortar, and who she told me, I really don't like to be on social media. I prefer not to be online. I like to meet my people in person. And while I understand and respect that, because most of my introverts do thrive in one-on-one situations, the thing that you have to remember is that everyone is on social media. Whether you like to be on social media or not, I can almost guarantee you that your people are on social media. Social media is replacing Google. TikTok is replacing Google. So if you are not here on social media talking about your business, yes, you are missing out. The thing of it is, you are one person with 2 hands, 2 feet, and 2 legs. So there is not a situation where you as an individual, even if you're out in the community, where you can give your content more legs than social media would give your content. So this is why I say show up, but show up in your way. There is no reason that you need to be online all the time. It's not feasible. You're a mom, you're a wife, you got a job, you are busy, and you're an introvert, and you're in a service-based business. So you're already giving to your clients, right? So you're working in your business and you're working on your business. There's just no possible way that you can be online. And this is why when I see my introverts that are not automating, my question is, why not? That should be one of the first things that you are doing in your business. Automating your lead generation, automating your sales content, automating your evergreen content. So that way, if you don't feel like showing up, your content is still showing up for you. I had someone tell me the other day, I feel like you're always online. I'm not, though. I'm on Instagram, like me physically, I'm probably on Instagram between 3.5 and 5 hours per week for business, because I understand when I need to show up. Like, y'all know, I'm in my stories. Hey Jay, I'm in my stories every single day because that's where I'm building connections. But in terms of me and my feed, let me be clear, 85% of my content is scheduled, because if there's a day that I don't want to come off the porch, I'm not coming off the porch. Or if there's oh Jesus, y'all, these bees and stuff is it's taking over my world. But I know that as a business owner, I still need to have my presence felt. And for that reason, I'm going to use a scheduler. Meta has a great scheduler where not only can you schedule your content, but you can also look at your data and analytics. You can look at your content plan. Heck, they even help you say, hey, what's your goal? Let me help you. It is in their best interest to help you be successful, because guess what? If you're successful on their platform, you're going to keep coming to the platform. You're going to keep bringing people to the platform. And their goal is to get you to advertise with them. If you're advertising, you see how it's a cycle. This is how it works. So what I would say is, if you are showing up, look, I done lost my train of thought, lost the question. Hold on, let me pull the question back up. But if you are showing up and you're not making the sales that you desire on social media, I want you to, really check yourself. I want you to check your content. Like, really be honest with yourself. Take a pause and go look at the last 9 pieces of content that you created. What were they about? And what was your call to action? What I find with us as creatives and as people who we like community, right? We don't like people all the time, but we do desire and crave community in our businesses. So what I typically find is that when you actually take time to audit and look through your community, there's going to be a whole lot of fun stuff, right? There's going to be a whole lot of content that connects. There's going to be some content that nurtures. There's going to be some content that shows people what's going on. But when it comes to, okay, where was I generating leads? Where was I asking for the sale? Where was I asking for the sale both directly and indirectly? So if I'm keeping it 100, I don't like direct sales, but there's a time and place for everything. Like when my cart is open, you better believe you are going to see some content that says, hey, I'm D. This is who I serve, and this is what I'm selling. And here's how you access it. When someone is in the seat of a buyer, when they have their credit card ready, they don't want to go through a whole lot of rigmarole. They want to know, is this for me? How is it going to help me? And how can I gain access to it? So I want you to look back through your content and really say, okay, this one's about, okay, this is awareness. And you will, hey KJ, and you will know if it's awareness. Let's talk about that real quick, right? Because there's where a lot of people get confused. When you show up in your Instagram community, I just lost my slipper. This is content marketing, right? And regardless of what you're selling, you go through the very same process every time. The only thing that changes is the length of time that you go through each phase, right? So if you have a 90-day launch plan, which so help me God, I don't do 90-day launches for my introverts really ever because it's exasperating. However, if you have a 90-day launch plan, it's going to be the same as if you have a 30-day or a 60-day or a 7-day. I actually have a 90-day that I never use. I have a 60-day. I have a 30-day. I have a 14-day. But you know why? I don't have to wonder like what the heck, because the process is the same. When I first know that I'm rolling something out, y'all hear my bird friends? They out here making a whole lot of noise. When you are first rolling something out, the first thing that you want to do is build awareness, right? Because people are coming into your community. They might not know who you are. So those are the reels, right? The reels that say, this is who I am. If you're suffering from this, or if you're in need of this, hey girl, hey, or hey boy, hey, right? That's the very generic content, the content that is general, that the masses can appreciate. That's going to be your memes. That's going to be your GIFs. That's going to be the things that gets people's eyes on you. Think about it. And I always talk about it like, imagine you're at a mall, right? Or not a mall. We don't really go to the mall. Imagine you're at like a festival or a fair, right? And you walk into the fair, something across the room or across the parking lot may catch your eye. You'd be like, oh, pink flowers. And then you're going to perk up because I like pink flowers. Now, whether I go over to those pink flowers or not is going to determine what they're telling me about the pink flowers. I have allergies, so if they say, oh, this is an allergen, I'm going to stay away. But if they say, if you are a brand that loves pink, come over here and check out our flowers. That's an invitation for me to come check out the flowers, right? So now I'm going to take my little self and I'm probably going to walk over there. That is them piquing my interest. When I get over to the pink, I have a cherry blossom tree in my yard. That's why I'm saying that. It came to mind because it's right here in front of me. When I get over to the cherry blossom tree, they need to have something that says, hey, do you like cherry blossoms? I know you like cherry blossoms because you're here. Let's stay connected and I'll send you information about when the next cherry blossoms are going to bloom. Now they have asked for a micro commitment. They have asked for us to stay connected. They know I'm interested in the pink tree because I walked myself over there. Same thing. You know your people are interested in you because they have come. Now it's up to you to pique their interest, to understand why they're here, and to cater and tailor to that, right? So me interested in the pink flowers, that's my lead magnet. Same thing for you. So you do the awareness content. So they say, hey, I'm over here. I got what you need. And then they come into the community, right? And then you say, while you're here, if you want to stay connected, here's how you can stay connected to me. And then you offer them your lead magnet or your acquisition asset. After that, what needs to happen? Then once they tap into you, there's some nurturing going on over there. So I'm just going to use my people because I know my people. Okay, you're like we talked about here. You are showing up to sell and market and not getting the results you want. Okay, you are looking to get visible, but you're also an introvert who wants to honor your solitude. Okay, you are someone who doesn't mind selling so much, but sometimes it's a little bit harder for you to start the conversation. So I am clear about the things that my people are going through. So those are the things that I'm going to talk about in my email community and in my Instagram community. Because if someone came to my Instagram community 3 weeks ago, they are no longer strangers. If they've been hearing, they've been consuming my content, now they are like in a point where they're going to decide, okay, does she have what I need, or might she have what I need, or not, right? So you can't make that decision for them. What you can do is you can continue to show up, talk about the things that you know they're going through. What problems are they have? What are they thinking right now? So one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is they are looking at things from their own lens. Guys, it is never about us. In our world, it's about us, especially as introverts, especially as introspective as we are. It is about us in our world. But in their world, it is their world. We're just living in it. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are talking about the things that they care about. And we want to make sure that we are listening. We are paying attention. Hi, buddy. Hold on, my baby just came home. Hi, buddy. How are you? You had a good day? Okay. What you about to do? Okay, you gonna relax or you taking a nap? Okay, I love you. That's my baby boy. And now I done lost my train of thought. So you're nurturing in your email community, and you're nurturing here in your Instagram community. Because when you nurture them, they now know, okay, she see me or he sees me. They know what I want. They know what I'm going through, right? And your content should, that's what I was talking about. You have to have that content, because the people that came 2 weeks ago, they're no longer new. So now they're in the part where they're paying attention so that they can make a decision. Then what do? Your goal. So another mistake that I see, I'm excited about this, y'all. Can y'all tell? What people are making a mistake is they're like, I'm not closing enough sales on social media. Are you going to close sales on social media? You will. But the goal is always to take people from your social media over here to y'all hear us talk about all the time, your own audience. You don't own Facebook. You want people to come over here, because what is happening in your community is reinforcing what's already happening over here. This is the reason that your email list gets information first, because they've already said, hey, I want to stay connected to you. I want to know what you have going on in your world. So you're going to honor that by giving them the deals, the promotion, the information first. What you do is you look at what people are paying attention to over here, and then you bring it over to your Instagram community. It's like, hey, just in case you didn't know, here's what we're doing over here. And you use your social media to amplify what you're doing in your own communities, not the other way around. Have I shown up on live stream and closed a client right away? Yes. Have I shown up on live stream and closed a client after 3 months? Yes. Has it taken 6 months sometimes? Yes. Because guess what? We also know that we have no control over when people buy from us, but we have control over how frequently we show up, how consistently we show up, and how strategically we show up based on what we know about our people. So you've piqued their interest, you've gathered them, you've told them about what you've got, you've generated leads, and now when you get the chance to make offers. But what you also want to do is pay attention to your sales cues. And that's when you're looking at people say, oh, I like this. I want this. Got to have this. Keep me in the, I had a client, or excuse me, I said client. Go ahead. She about to be a client. I had someone DM me the other day, was like, oh, I am interested in this. Please keep me in the loop. Do you think that when I open my cart, she is not going to get a DM from me that says, hey, you said you were interested in this. Here's the information. Here's how you access it. Let me know if you have any questions. She is absolutely going to get that from me, because I don't think that people are joking when they say, oh, D, I need that. D, I need you. D, I need you to help me, structure. I don't think that people are playing when they say that. Every single time someone says it to me, I'm going to take that thing seriously, because I'm a business owner and I am helping people in a way that could be the lifeblood of their business. I want you to do the same thing. I done went off on a tangent. Whew, that was just number one, y'all. So if y'all have any questions about that, please drop it in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it. I'm going to move on to question number 2. I don't have time to post every day. How do I still market and sell without burning out? Well, I didn't even know that was question number 2. However, I kind of just answered that in number 1. So that was like a twofer. So the thing of it is, you shouldn't be posting every day if you don't have the capacity to do that. If you have the capacity to do it, do it. I show up every single day in my community. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's automation, and sometimes it's my virtual assistant. But my business is showing up every single day. So here's what I'll say. I want you to think about your real life. I want you to think about what you're selling. I want you to think about when your people are online. And I want you to have a strategy that aligns with that. Right? I don't work on Sundays. Sundays is a day of rest, a day of prayer, a day for family, a day, y'all know I say I'm Cinderella. I am cleaning the house. I am preparing for the week. So I am not doing a whole lot of work. In the evening, I will plan for Monday, but I'm not showing up. So guess what? On Sundays, all of my content is automated. And on Sundays, there's going to be a piece of content to nurture, to generate leads, and to sell. Every single day in my community, there are 3 pieces of content that I'm going to produce. Sometimes it's all in my feed. Sometimes it's in my stories. But let me be clear, there will be one of each piece of content happening every day, because I don't know who's coming into my community and I don't know where they are in their journey. And for that reason, I want to have a piece of content that hits them wherever they are. Oh, just got here. Hey, I'm Dee. I'm an introvert consultant. Here's what I do. You're trying to figure out if I'm for you. I'm going to nurture you and talk about the things you're going through. Oh, you here looking for me, credit card in hand. Here is what I'm selling, and here's how you access it. So think about it that way. You don't have to show up every single day. You don't have to show up every day, but your content should be in people's faces, because the thing of it is, one of the names of the game in marketing, hey Taisha, is to be top of mind, right? So it's 2 things: be where they are and be top of mind. Being where they are means online. Okay, let me talk about this. Let me stop. Let me pause right here real quick, because this is important. Because my people know who they want to serve, but the question I get often is, where are my people? All right, Casey, I like that breakdown for content. Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I got to do more of that, KJ, because it's a question that I get over and over again. Hold on one second. I done lost my, where are my people? So if you think about your people, and this means that you need to know who they are. You need to be clear about who they are, because if you don't know who they are, you're not going to know where they're spending their time online. Let me give you an example. There was a live stream that I was in. It's a creator out of Atlanta, and he has a podcast, right? And he's interviewing someone on the podcast, and I'm in the comments. I'm just being myself. I'm not trying to get a lead. I'm just commenting on the content that they're producing in my voice, giving my point of view, sharing my opinions. Be where your people are. You know, Instagram tells you if your people are associated with the people you follow. This particular creator has 138 shared people with me. That means my people are in his community. So I'm in his live stream, just doing what I'm doing, having conversations, chatting, being social, talking to the people in the comments. Right after that live stream, I got a DM from someone that says, oh my gosh, I've been praying for someone like you. I can tell just from the things that you're saying that I need to be connected to you. Can we chat? It's like music to my ears. Can we chat? We're chatting right now. Let's go. There's no reason for me to schedule a Zoom with her. There was no reason for me to say, let's circle back and look at our calendars. You here, I'm here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it turned into, within 10 minutes, me sending her a link. Me sending her a link turned into the following week, her booking a consultation. I was where my people are. And I do that often. Not necessarily even looking for a sale, but understanding that other types of content that my people like to consume, understanding where they're spending their time. Because guess what? If all my people are spending time over here where somebody's talking about bistro lights and light bulbs, I need to be there too. So you need to be where your people are. My people like the Shade Room. My people love Madi. My people love Jerisha. My people love my mentor. My people love a lot of the same people that I love. So I am going to be in those communities, making sure that I'm mixing and mingling over there, just like I'm mixing and mingling over here. Now, I would never try to poach. I'm a woman of integrity, but when people see you and they hear you and you are sharing your point of view, it makes them want to be connected to you. And this is why you need to be where your people are. So if you are someone that is having trouble figuring, okay, I know who my person is, but where the heck are they? Go into the communities of some of the other people that you have in common. See what that content is about. If your people are over there commenting, you need to understand the type of content that moves them to comment. You need to understand the type of content that they like to consume. And then you look at, okay, how do I like to create content? This is me. This is them, and here's the intersection. I love live stream. My people like video, so I create live stream. My people like emails. I enjoy writing emails, so I'm creating emails. So the thing of it is, it has to feel good to you, especially as an introvert, because y'all know, do I need to say it? If it doesn't feel good to you, what? You're not going to do it. And what is the purpose of that if you are here to grow your business and make money? So, be where your people are, and do not be afraid to ask for the sale when it warrants it. Now, you're never going to hear me talk about cold DM. And listen, I didn't even do cold calls in corporate. They wanted me to do like 100 cold calls. Was it a week? I can't remember what it was, ridiculously. But I looked my boss in the face and I told him I will not be doing cold calls. I will not be showing up on anyone's doorsteps, but I will make my numbers. And I did it every single month, every single time. You know how? Because I built my strategies on relationships. I believe in relationship-based sales and marketing. If you don't want to get to know me, if you don't want to grow with me, if you don't see yourself working with me over time, if you don't see that you could be a brand ambassador and you don't want to tell your friends about me, you are not my person. I don't want a wham bam thank you ma'am. I don't want a one-nighter. I don't want a one-hitter quitter. My people come to me and they grow with me. And this is, on the 24th of this month, my business will be 6 years old. And I thank God that I have people that pay me when they need me still from 6 years ago. To this day, people who have been with me since 2019 still pay me when they need strategy, still pay me when they need structure, still pay me when they have ideas, but they have gone as far as they can go on their own. And that is what I desire for my business. And that is why I show up to build relationships first. I'm never going to push myself on you, because that creates buyer's remorse. And that is where the salesy and sleazy feeling comes from. Never. You know what 6 words have closed so many clients for me? I'll be here when you're ready. If I ever talk to someone and they're like, well, I don't know, I'll be here when you're ready. I'll be here when you are ready. Because I'm never going to force anyone into anything. Because if you are not ready, we are not going to have the type of experience that we should have. We're not going to have the type of experience that I desire to have with my clients. I will be here when you're ready. And that's how I am never pushy, how I am never salesy. I am clear that the work that I do with my people is life and business changing. And I want them to be certain about it when they say yes to me. So if y'all have any questions about that, go ahead and drop them in the comments. The third question that I have is, my offer is clear, I think. I love this. My offer is clear, I think. But people still ask what I do. What am I missing? Messaging. Ooh, baby, you missing messaging. Let me tell you something. When I first started my business, okay. Let me clarify. So y'all know I came into the business with sales and marketing experience, but big box experience where I was selling a thing, rooms, weddings, events, real estate. I was not selling me online. And so there was a shift that had to happen when it came to me promoting me. Y'all know I'm an introvert. Yes, I'm a social introvert, but I'm an introvert. And something just felt crazy to me about shining a light bulb on my head and saying, here I am, buy from me. I just did not like it. And my messaging wasn't clear because I came into the industry like, I teach people about sales and marketing. Everybody needs that. Everybody does need it, but everybody doesn't need D. So once I realized that the people that needed me, and listen, why did it even take me a year and a half to figure this out, y'all, when I'm an introvert? I'm an introvert who thrived in sales and marketing at corporate. So why was I coming into the game just talking to people who needed help with sales and marketing? Shame on me for doing that, but I got that together really quickly, right? I can remember specifically 3 people that had sales calls with me that were not clear what I did. And I was like, well, how do you think I can help you? And they knew structure, they knew strategy, but it was not clear. And so what that told me is that my messaging was not clear. I was attracting people that needed mindset. Why am I attracting that? I'm attracting that because I'm talking about mindset in my content. Why are you talking about mindset so much? So if your offer is clear, but people are still asking you what you do, that means you may have, that means you have a messaging problem. That means that you are not being direct enough with sharing what you do or what you are selling to your people. So if you think your offer is clear, but people are asking what you do, audit your messaging. I don't have my mini chat on for that right now, but if you send me a DM, if this is what you're going through with the word messaging, I'll send you the Pink Leaf Messaging Makeover. It is a audit where you audit your social media content. You can audit your podcast. You can audit your blog, any content that you are putting out in your business. It allows you to basically self-reflect and say, am I saying what I think that I'm saying? Because that's a messaging problem. Number 4. People say that they're interested in my offer, but then crickets. What am I doing wrong? So anytime I've seen this, it's because usually it's positioning, right? And y'all know messaging and positioning are 2 other fraternal twins in sales and marketing. So you want to understand truly what your people need and position your service as the medicine. Position it as a solution, right? Think about when you go to the doctor. You go to the doctor and this is what I'm feeling. These are the symptoms that I have. And the doctor then listens to you and pulls out a prescription pad and writes you a prescription. You want to make sure that whatever you're offering is what should be on that prescription pad. The second thing that I would say is give yourself enough time to let it breathe. So often one of the things that I see my introverts do is they come up with something amazing and then they're posting it immediately. They're selling it immediately. Well, now it's like you just showed up and you just slapped someone in the face. You didn't create buzz. You didn't tease the thing. You didn't tell them that it's coming. You didn't say, hey, be on the lookout for if you're going through this. I got something coming for you. That is such an important part of your campaign and of your launch or your rollout, because people don't like abrupt thing. They don't like for you to just slap them in the face and say, here is what it is. They want to know it's coming. They want to know when it's coming. They want to know how much it's going to be. So if they need to get their ducks in a row, they can do that. And then once you say, okay, Thursday at 2:00 is coming. On Thursday at 2:00, you launch that thing or you roll that thing out. And then you follow up, and then you nurture, and then you show people why they need to buy it, right? This is where your testimonials and your social proof comes in. Once you know that your people have interest, you just need to let them know why they need it now, right? Because if it's something they can wait for, they may put it in the later column. They may put it in their parking lot. But if they need it right now, you got to tell them why they need it right now. You want to tell them that what difference it's going to make in their world. You want to tell them what things are going to be like if they decide not to do it right now. That is your job. Their job is to show up to look for you. Your job is to show up, look for them, and then position your service or your offer in a way that they know they need it right now. And then, of course, tell them how to access it. Always have a call to action. Ooh, baby, always have a call to action. 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 I wish I could say it in another language right now. I don't know how to say call to action in French. Y'all have a call to action. We cannot assume that our people are going to do what we want them to do. Yes, your people are adults. Yes, your people can read. Yes, your people know that you're a business, but you got to remember that you're a business. Think about it as your storefront. If someone walks into the front door, what are you going to do? You're going to greet them. What else is going to happen? You're going to give them a couple of minutes. Don't harass them. right? But you're going to give them a couple minutes and say, can I help you find anything? Or are you looking for anything particular today? And now that is you qualifying them so you know what they're looking for or what they need. And then when you understand what they need, you are going to ask for the sale. You are going to make a call to action. In that situation, your call to action might be, okay, I'll be right over the register. If you need me, let me know. Or if you're looking for shirts, okay, our shirts over here in the back corner are 10% off today. You're looking for something red, you can find that over here. You want to call them into action. And the thing of it is, it's not always about buying. A huge misconception is that a call to action is always going to be about buying. A call to action is going to be about what you want them to do based on where you are in your launch plan, where you are in your funnel. Remember we talked about that awareness content when they don't really know you yet? Is your call to action going to be to buy if they just met you? No. It's going to be join my email list, stay connected, introduce yourself in the comments, drop your favorite emoji, tag someone who's interested in this. That's what you do for awareness. When you are in that phase where you're nurturing them, what do you want them to do? You want them to stay connected. And the thing of it is, your call to action should be the same, but say it in different ways. Because guess what? If you say, click the link in my bio to grab your next ink pen, and no one does it, how many times are you gonna keep using that same call to action if nobody's doing it? If people are not responding to your call to action, we got to say it a different way. So click the link in my bio to grab your ink pen. Are you ready for a new ink pen? Grab one at my link. If getting a new ink pen is at the top of your list, you can grab one at my website. DM me the word pen to get your new Dr. Grip ink pen. Are you a ballpoint type of girl or gal? I've got a bundle available at my link in bio. That's just 5 or 6 ways right there that I just said the same thing about you getting. Now, you ain't getting this ink pen. This is one of my favorites. But you see what I'm saying? And your job as the business owner is to pay attention to what people are taking action on. These are called our micro conversions, and they still matter. Even if the end result of this particular situation is not a sale, it matters because that means that you had joint attention with your person and they took the action that you wanted them to take. That means they're engaged with you. That is really what call to action is about. Yes, it's about getting them to take the action, but it's also about you understanding the people that are engaged with you about that thing. Whew, I'm on fire, y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Y'all enjoying this content? All right, what's next? All right, next. Oh, number 5. We already had number 5, y'all. I get clients here and there. This is what I hear this so often too. I'm getting clients here and there, but I want consistent sales. How do I make that happen without referrals? Why are you want to make it happen without referrals? Okay, here's the thing. I know my people, and I know a lot of our business comes from word of mouth. Oh, come on now. They don't let the people see me acting crazy because the bumblebee done came over too close. No! Hold on, y'all. Jesus. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I do not feel like being stung. First of all, that's foundational. If you are getting referrals and people are sending business your way, why would you ever want to do your business without... Listen, I don't want to do my business without referrals and word of mouth, because that's some baseline revenue in my business. The thing of it is, you want to nurture that area of your business. Child, they are over the place. I don't want y'all to see me, because listen, if I jump up, I might fall, hit my head, do something crazy, and then I can't save this live stream, okay? And then I'll have to have y'all sign a non-DA and not tell nobody about the foolishness that y'all just saw. But one of the things that I always tell my introverts is strengthen those relationships. If someone has sent you business before, you need to have them in your CRM and you need to be checking back in with them. I check in with people that refer business to me quarterly. It might be a greeting card. It might be an email with a Canva automation. It might be to celebrate their business anniversary. It might be to celebrate their own birthday. Whatever it is, people that send business to me, I stay in touch with them because I want them to send business back to me again. But I also want to be of service to them if they have a need that comes up, right? And so I want you to never think about not doing that, but I want you to think about how you can do that better while marketing and selling in your business. So the thing of it is, this is why generating leads is so important. Because while you're serving these people right now, you want to have people coming through your funnel so that you are not racing to get another client when you wrap up with this client. So what I would say is if you're getting clients here and there, but you want consistent sales, you can make that happen by nurturing your people who are referring and sending you business, but also ensuring that you have lead generation systems in place. And that should always be automated. It should be automated for everyone, but it should absolutely be automated for introverts. My lead generation system is automated. I currently have 3 ways for people to do business with me or to come into my funnel. That is the Business is Brewing consultation, which is for you if you want an hour to sit down with me. And if you don't just need a digital workbook or audit or whatever, but you want to walk away with one actionable item, one area of your business that you're looking to improve, but you also want to know what you should be doing as next steps. That is a paid acquisition asset, right? And then I have the Pink Leaf Messaging Makeover. That is a 5-page digital download. If someone has issues with messaging, they're going to download that. And then I have a lead magnet that is the Introvert's Guide to Creating a High Converting Lead Magnet. That is actually a part of the Pink Leaf Lead Magnet Power Pack. So you get the way to create your lead magnet. You get a 12-minute voiceover. You get 12 lead magnet templates, and you get, I think it's a welcome email. I'm going off the top of my head right now, right? And that's a $47. So I have a free, a $47, and then a $333. So there's 3 points of entry for anyone to come into my funnel. And I have them all placed in different places. So on TikTok, I have one lead magnet. On my website, I have another lead magnet. On Instagram and Facebook, I have. So also that's going to tell me how people are converting into my email list based on where they saw my lead magnet. And it's all automated. Each one has its own funnel, because if someone's coming into my funnel for messaging, they don't need to be hearing about what I'm talking to someone about a lead magnet. They have issues with messaging, and you can't create a lead magnet until you do what? Master your messaging. So I would say to make sure that you automate your lead generation and to make sure you promote it too. Y'all, the number of people that I see that have a free lead magnet or have a lead magnet or an acquisition asset and they're not talking about it is alarming. How do you expect to grow your email list? How are you expecting for people to come into your pipeline? How are you expecting people to they're just not going to come from your community and jump on your email list on their own. You got to promote that thing. You should have content that just strictly promotes your lead magnet or acquisition asset. You should be actually promoting that thing more than you promote your main offer, because you want more leads coming into your funnel. Y'all know, do I need to do the handy dandy little graphic? This is not a graphic, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. This is the top of your funnel. More people are coming in here. So you want people coming into this funnel every single day. This is why, what did I tell y'all I do? 1 piece of sales content, 1 piece of nurture content, and 1 piece of lead generation content every single day between my stories and my feed and my email list. This is going to ensure that I have people, like right now I'm working with, I have 5 clients. 2 of them will offboard in the next 4 weeks. 2 of them are on a 6-month retainer, but I'm already thinking about my clients that are offboarding in May. And I was doing you know I'm an arts major, so stop playing, Jay. You know I do jazz hands, but I am always thinking about that. I don't like hustle and bustle. I don't like to rush. I don't ever want to feel like I'm chasing clients. And for that reason, I am generating leads or promoting my lead generation stuff every single day. Taisha says, I have lead magnet, but I believe it's not fit for revisions I made to my offer and audience and messaging. So what that tells you, Taisha, is that, okay, now that I've tweaked my messaging and my offer and I know more about my person, I'm clearer about the person that I serve. Is this lead magnet what they really need? Is this the step that's going to have them come in so that my service or my offer is their next step? That's a mistake that I see a lot of people make as well, right? Hey, Dina. A mistake that I see a lot of people make is, oh, Jesus, y'all see that? Oh, hold on. No. Wait a minute, y'all. Jesus. Okay. So you have to understand where your person is right now, right? And Taisha, you and so funny we're talking about this because you and I just talked about this. This is where your person, this is where they meet you, where they are actively looking for you. And here is your offer. So your lead magnet should be closer to your offer than over here, because you want the person that is ready to take the next step, not the person who was just thinking about it. So your lead magnet should be so that when they are done, when you solve that one problem, when you help them with that one thing that they need to be ready, the next step should be your offer. For instance, messaging is one of my lead magnets, right? Once my people master their messaging, now what? Now they're ready to sell. They're ready to be effective in their sales and marketing. What does my services do? 99% of my services is going to audit, refine, and optimize your lead generation, content marketing, and sales strategy. We cannot do that if you are not clear about your person, if you are not clear about your messaging, right? My other lead magnet is creating a high, my husband, you about to go play some golf? You about to hit some balls? I know. My husband about to go play some golf. You gonna give me a kiss? You leaving now?
How you doing?
How who doing? Me?
You got some energy.
I got some energy?
Yeah.
You like my energy, babe?
Yeah, energy.
You know I get excited about sales and marketing.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You gonna hit him straight, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. See, 23 years of marriage. Y'all see how I look at that man? I still look at that man just like that. 28 years together and 23 years of marriage, and he still give me the little sparkly eyes. Anyway, I digress. My other lead magnet is the 5 steps to creating a high converting lead magnet, right? So what needs to happen there is my people want to generate leads. So after they have their lead magnet, what are they going to need to do? They're going to want to take a look at their lead generation strategy to make sure that it's optimized and aligned with their person and with their offer. So after you have your lead magnet, the Pink Leaf Sip and Solve, which is my 2-hour strategic consulting session, is going to be the probable next step because you're ready to generate leads. Now you need to make sure that your lead generation strategy is aligned with you, and we're going to go ahead and automate that thing. So take a look at your lead magnet and see, is this the step right before people need to say yes to my thing? And you may find that it is not the next step. So then you need to say, okay, what are the next 2 steps? If you know that your people are right there, your question should be, how do I get them from right here to my service? What are the steps in between that they need to take to say yes to me? Dina says, so right. I think I have overthought my lead generator in the past. I'm creating an interactive quiz right now that leads them to my best-selling product. We absolutely, Dina. And the thing of it is, we don't even have to overthink it, because when people are wondering what should be their lead magnet, that tells me that they're still fine-tuning who they serve. And if you're fine-tuning who you serve, you are going to have some trial and error. But one of the ways that you can also create a lead magnet, if you're unsure, look at the last 90 days of your content. And I want you to look at the content that has the most engagement. Look at what you're talking about. That will tell you what is resonating with your people and what your people are interacting with. That is almost always going to be something that could be a lead magnet for you. Does it solve a problem for them? Does it create create the awareness that they need before they say yes to you? So I'm so excited that both of you guys are working on that, because it truly is a game changer when it comes to the confidently showing up to sell and market, right? Anybody could come here and show up and sell and market, but are you confident in your thing? I was praying yesterday because I'm like, my energy right now is like, well, my energy in this moment is high. But, you know, at the phase of my life, like perimenopause is kicking my you know what. And I've got fatigue. I got some brain fog some days. I got some, just, it's like Lord have mercy, right? So what I did was I had to consider my capacity. My capacity is different in this moment than it was last year when Perry wasn't in my personal business, right? And this is the reason that over the last couple of days, I started to refine the Pink Leaf VIP experience, because my VIP day is something that my people are attracted to. Because they want a high touch where they can come in, they can get their questions answered, they can get their strategy, and they can hit the ground running. And it also is not going to take a whole lot out of me. I will be selling that again in June. I'm revamping it now. I'm building my funnel. I'm creating my content. I'm doing all the things, but it's also a service that is already validated. I've sold the Pink Leaf VIP day over 15 times. Am I lying? Between 12 and 15 times. So I'm just going to give old girl some new accessories and roll her right back out. I'm not creating anything from scratch, y'all. At this point, I'm not even creating content from scratch. I've been online since 2019. I have created over 4,000 pieces of content. Some of them was crappy and some of them were really good. I'm at the point where I'm looking back at who my person is, what they respond to, what they need, and I am pulling all of my best content. I have what I call a content cupboard, and that's where my evergreen, my best content, my call to actions, my messaging, my positioning, my most viable client breakdown, that's where all that stuff lives. So right now, I am pulling and repurposing and refining and making that content better, because the person that I serve has not changed. I'm going to always serve the creative introvert who is overthinking, who done made herself overwhelmed, who don't need to be overwhelmed, but just really needs more strategy, more structure, and every once and again need me to come in and say, here, take my hand. Let's do this together. That's where I am with it. Dina said, nope, the quiz is a remake of one I had before, but it wasn't automated fully. Okay. And you know, quizzes perform so well. So I'm excited to see that you're doing a quiz. Like, I was thinking about doing a quiz, and if I'm telling the whole truth, it was too many ins and outs and isms and schisms for me. And so one thing about me is if it takes too much of my energy, I'm not doing it. I might have to just pay somebody to do it for me because I know how effective they are. But I need it to be low lift for me. But I love that for you, especially as a beauty architect. Let me know how that goes. Do y'all have any questions that I can answer for you? Let me know if y'all have any questions that I can answer for you. And my call to action for this live stream is, if you are a creative introvert who needs more structure and strategy in your business, and you would benefit from having a optimized lead generation, content, or conversion strategy, I want you to send me a DM with a coffee cup. I'll start the conversation to see if we're a good fit. And this is one of the reasons that live stream is so good too, right? So imagine if you just came here, you just met me. You get to see my personality. You get to see my point of view. You get to see my experience. You can tell I know what I'm talking about. You can tell I'm a little bit sarcastic, a little bit funny, a little bit firecrackery. But I am clear that my people that come to my live stream know I want to work with her, or no, she ain't my cup of tea. And either way is great. Either way, like, I love that my messaging is clear enough that people can say, oh no, she's not for me, because I ain't for everybody, and I don't want to be for everybody. Dina says it's a lot of small pieces that have to be linked properly. Yeah, I was looking at Typeform, I think it was, and it wasn't whatever I was looking at. I want to say it was Typeform. No, it wasn't. I can't think of what it was. But whatever it wasn't a lot. It wasn't that it was a lot of small pieces. If I'm telling the whole truth, it was actually building out the quiz. So you have to build out the questions, and then the back end where you build in based on the responses. They go into this category, that category, and it wasn't overwhelming. But the amount of time that it would take for me to put it together, it just wasn't a priority for me. Especially because, my lead magnets have been converting. And I've even been converting people, and I talked about this last week, I think, into my email list by saying, join the Pink Leaf email lounge, where the content is curated specifically for creative introverts looking to grow their businesses strategically and sustainably. So that converts people to my email list almost every single day. So if it works, work it. And, that's one of my favorite things to say. If it works, work it. But do y'all have any questions that I could answer for you before I get off of here? Do y'all have any questions? I love it when y'all be interactive and chatting with me. Are there any questions in the room that I can answer before I go? Let me know. I can't tell how much of a delay I have, so I'm going to give it a second. But those were all 5 of the questions. So if you're on my email list, you will get an email with a recap of this of this live stream that we've done today, with a link to rewatch it. I think I'm going to add a resource to this email too. Taisha says, the more I try to discover my lead magnet, the more confused the process becomes. Because that means you're overthinking it. So did you already do the work into who your woman is? Are you clear? Like, if she was sitting across from you, would you be able to say, okay, this is my person? Dina says, nope, just drop in and say hi. Hey, Dina, thank you for popping in. Are you going live today, Dina? I'll try to pop in if you're going live. I know you be live over on the Clock app. So tell me that, Taisha, are you feeling 100% certain about your person? Okay. So think about the top 3 problems that she's having right now that is the reason, or that align with why she needs you. And what can you do in her world